But you mentioned something that I just want to pick on, and that was that you found that learning was very similar to learning the guitar. Learning
for sure. There was concepts that related for sure.
What were those concepts?
I think one of them is just consistent practice.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of coders think if they get the knowledge, then they'll be done. Like, if I just memorize the syntax, then I'll know how to code. And, it's something that I talk about all the time. I think 20 hours spent over the course of 2 months broken up is far more efficient than 20 hours compacted in the context of learning. Because your brain needs time to absorb that knowledge. So instead of spending 20 hours on a weekend, spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day learning to code. You'll be far more productive in your journey. I think for most people, everybody learns different. That's the bottom line. But I think trying to just shove stuff into your brain doesn't work. The pipe's only so big. It can only accept so much new information. So I think the first one is consistent practice.
Yeah.
I think the second one is it's skill-based in a way so that I feel like people with talent, I don't have much talent with guitar, but people with talent with guitar can learn very few concepts. They learn 1 or 2 scales, the understanding of major and minor. And they're able to take that skill exponentially and put that into their instrument. And I've seen other coders around. I feel like I have to really fight for my knowledge that I have, and I have to really fight to keep it up. And that's, that's worked out for me, but it's a lot of work for me to keep my skill sets and invest in those concepts. Where I feel like I see other coders around, even JP, my co-host, and I feel like he picks up 1 or 2 concepts and uses them in so much more compounding and interesting ways than me.
Right.
And I love our industry because it is so skill-based. It's not based on where you went to school or what. People are like, let me see your code. Let's do a code review. I want to see you code. In the same way that for someone auditioning for a band, it's not like, oh, what school do you went to? It's like, no, I want to hear you play. Let's see your skills. Let's see how you use these concepts. So that was another big one that I've picked up, and the distinctions between. And then there's just the idea of it being an art and a science. I think out of different arts that I've dabbled with in my career, music has this interesting place that there is a right and a wrong, and there is a science to how music is structured. There's very structured rules that can be broken from time to time. And I'm not an amazing musician by any means, but there is a major chord, there's a minor chord, and there's a sub-selection of notes you can use, and there is a structured thinking to the way that you're placing this down within this context of rhythm. And when you look at programming, it's a similar way that there's a structure and a syntax to how you must do this and communicate this, but there's so much nuance to how you can say it. It's why I love the art of programming. It's so incredible.
I love that. That is such a good analogy. That's such a good sort of comparison of learning the guitar, a musical instrument, to learning code. I haven't thought of it like that. That's fantastic. My mind's blown. That's great.
Nice.
That's so cool.